All right, guys. Well, it's official. Well, it's been official. I haven't been able to put out a couple of videos that I wanted to. I didn't have the real chance to, but yes, the Met season is officially over. I recently just moved, okay, to a new apartment, and that's the reason why I couldn't keep up with putting out Mets videos on reactions as for like each series that has passed. But the season is officially over. I just did a video. Check it out on my YouTube channel. As for the Red Sox versus the Yankees, my reaction on how I ended up intaking all that, and let me know what you guys think. But yeah, guys, please hit a like and subscribe button. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Really does help out the channel. It really brings a lot of awareness, for you guys to see it on different feeds and stuff like that. But yeah, guys, look, I wanted to really talk about very quickly about the New York Mets. The Mets, the season is officially over. All right. I don't know if you guys heard, but the Mets are not retaining what's it called, Luis Rojas. They did not pick up his team option on retaining him back. So that means yes, the Mets are gonna have another coach coming in, and gonna be coaching the team. We had Carlos Beltran. He is a candidate. He is actually a possibility. Well, I don't know if he's a candidate, but he's somebody that on SNY they had said that the Mets are most likely going to end up looking at. There's already talks about a GM coming in, all right, or maybe whatever, president of operations. Theo Epstein is going to be talking with the Mets at some point. I wonder what that conversation is going to be about. Is it going to be part ownership? Is it going to be something along the lines of him having a ginormous salary to take the job of the Mets? Theo Epstein has been famous enough on getting the job with Boston. Him snapping the curse, allowing the Red Sox to win their first world title in what is it, like 86 years or something like that, back in 04, and then winning another title in 07. And then after that, Dave Dombrowski ended up winning a title in 2013, and then the Red Sox won another title in 2018. But yeah, guys, so Theo Epstein has been famous enough to snapping curses. Also snapped the curse in 2016 with the Chicago Cubs, where he ended up breaking an 101-year drought where the Cubs did not win a World Series in that lifespan. It's pretty enormous stuff. So yeah, so if the Mets end up getting somebody like a Theo Epstein, that'll be great news. Obviously, the expectations will be through the roof because one, it's New York. Two, he was able to do it with two losing franchises and turn those franchises around. Look where the Red Sox are at right now. They're now going to be going to St. Petersburg to play the Tampa Bay Rays in the divisional round of the playoffs. All right, and the Chicago Cubs, he left them as a juggernaut. Now they're in rebuild mode, but they were able to win a world title and go to the playoffs consistently. So that says a lot right there. But yeah, guys, so it's great stuff if the Mets can get Theo Epstein. If not, who would be the next person in for becoming a GM or president of baseball operations? But let's focus in on the managers. There were a couple of guys that the Mets were considering. One of them was Carlos Beltran. Another was Joe McEwing, Super Joe, who, if you guys remember, he was part of like that 2000 Mets. All right, he was coming off the bench. Utility. Well, he was an infielder, a utility player, could be used pretty much anywhere in the infield, and I believe he also played a little bit of outfield too. You'll have Todd Zeal, who's working with SNY as he is being looked upon as a candidate. Carlos Beltran. I mean, I'm actually very interested on where the Mets are going to go. I know there's a lot of fans that want to see Bruce Bochy coaching the New York Mets just because what he was able to do with the San Francisco Giants. He helped them win 3 world titles. What was it, 2010, 2012, and 2014. And they were pretty solid in that 5-year window, 6-year window because, led by Bruce Bochy, they, play very fundamental baseball. All right, and that's something that the Mets haven't been able to do in quite some time. And there were times this year, if they would have played fundamental baseball, just regular baseball, instead of trying to jack up a whole bunch of home runs, I think the Mets could have, held on to that first place lead in the and the NL East, which would have allowed them to get into the playoffs, but it didn't happen. Mets fell into third place, and they became the first team to hold on to first place for over 90 days to now fall out of the playoffs and not make it. But yeah, guys, I mean, it's phenomenal stuff that the Mets did not pick up Luis Rojas. I personally did not want to see him come back, but there's also now talks, do the Mets re-sign Javi Baez? I say yes, just because, look, JD Davis, I know he had a ligament, he had like a ligament tear in his finger, which is one of the reasons why he was out for quite some time. I personally don't want JD Davis to come back. I want to see them, improve, in that infield. If that means putting Javi Baez at third and keeping McNeil at second, fine. Or if that means upgrading in third base and trying to find, like somebody like a Carlos Correa, who is a very big shortstop, you can move him at third base and you have a phenomenal infield, and then have McNeil play left field. But there's different ways to go about this. So I would love for them to keep Javi Baez. As for Dominic Smith, I just don't see him doing that great, in the long haul. I just think Dominic Smith doesn't carry the power that he should as a first baseman. And he's not a left fielder. He's not a right fielder. The guy cannot play the corner outfield positions. The guy, is not a natural outfielder to begin with. He's a natural first baseman, and the fact that we had him as an outfielder is because of the fact that Pete Alonso is our first baseman. The guy is right now an average, infielder at first base, but Dom Smith is a well above average first baseman. So, but the reason why we have Pete there is because this guy's a power hitter. The guy could hit you about close to 40 home runs every single year, drive you in 90 RBIs in this day in baseball. So I personally don't see there's any fit for Dom Smith. What do the Mets do with Michael Conforto? Michael Conforto had a pretty bad year. Do the Mets give him a 1-year deal? Do the Mets give him the qualifying offer? That way, if he signs with another team, that team will have to surrender a first-round draft pick. So these are all questions that the Mets are going to have to do. Me personally, I'm giving Michael Conforto that qualifying offer. Give him the qualifying offer. See what he's able to do. It was one bad year and happened to be on a contract year. Let's see if he's able to bounce back. The guy, historically he strikes out a lot. Doesn't have the greatest arm. Doesn't really have like the greatest, fielding range. But, let's see what he's able to do. The guy's a former All-Star. He was able to, bat at a pretty high level. Had success in the postseason when the Mets were in it in 2015 and 2016. So let's see what he's able to do under this new regime that's in the Steve Cohen era, which is now going into year 2 that Steve Cohen has bought the Mets. But yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think. Should the Mets keep Javi Baez? Should the Mets, make a qualifying offer to Michael Conforto? Should they offer him more than the qualifying offer? I know I didn't talk about Noah Syndergaard, but is that a person of interest that the Mets should try to retain in the long term? Because look what's happening in Philadelphia. Zach Wheeler is killing it, and the reason why he's killing it is because the Mets lowballed him, and Philly took advantage of the fact that he is a really good pitcher. So what should the Mets do with Syndergaard? What should the Mets do with Michael Conforto? And should the Mets re-sign Javi Baez on a long-term deal, or should they do it on a short-term deal? Until then, guys, I'm Flavo Rihanna. Thank you for tuning in to Take Your Base. All right, please leave your comments in the comment section below, and I will get back to you guys as quickly as possible. But until then, guys, I'm Flavo Rihanna, and I'll see you guys at a later date. Peace, guys, and have a good one.